focus.
Your audio's good tonight, though.
Weird, because it's just coming out of the laptop.
Huh. Anyway, well, we're live as usual. So welcome back to the latest and greatest Tech Talk show on Wednesday night. And it's going to be a lot greater here in a minute, at least probably according to English Dan, who is on the left side right now. I'm in the middle of finishing up some steaks on the barbecue pit because today is my oldest son's birthday and I'm running behind on time, but we wanted to go ahead and get started. So Dan is going to tap dance and talk about stuff for like 10 minutes.
Camera's taking photographs of me. Whatever. All right.
It seems to be working. So y'all are going to be left here with Dan for probably like 10, 12 minutes maybe. And I'll be back shortly.
Great. Well, go away.
Take it away, Dan.
Your hideous bedhead and go away. Thank you. Did you see his hair? How would you even think of getting on camera and having a head of hair like that? I mean, that was just like, no. Anyway, so for you, just go away and make your steaks. Why are you even here in the background? Go. Shoo. There you go. Right. Oh, really, Dom? Okay. Is that what this is going to turn into? Is this the roast of English Dan? Is this what this is going to be tonight? Because I'm up for it. I will take every one of you on, including half a haircut Adam. All right? It's just the way it is. Anyway, hi, guys. English Dan Reviews on YouTube. TechOdyssey, you all know him. He's the dumbass that I went to Vegas with the other week. Carried him. Just not very bright. He pretends to be intelligent, but he isn't really. So yeah, not been here for a couple of weeks, and I've not done any YouTube videos for a couple of weeks neither. I'm slacking. So what should we talk about? OnePlus 9, OnePlus 9 Pro, OnePlus 9R. It's like my Midwestern R. So that's what it was. So yeah, new OnePlus devices coming out. I don't even know if anyone's in here or even listening to me or seeing me, but let's talk about OnePlus 9 devices. I don't know whether any of you actually care about the OnePlus 9 devices, but this year they're bringing back the Pro range to the carriers, whereas last year they only did the OnePlus 8T, they only did the OnePlus 8. The Pro was exclusive to OnePlus only, and I think that really, really hurt their sales. I really think it was a letdown for a lot of people, and I think it was a letdown for them as well. I'm surprised they didn't push it out to the carriers like after Christmas to try and clear some stock, but you know, it is what it is. They're now offering deals where you can buy, I believe you can buy the OnePlus 8 Pro right now for $699 and you get free buds, the wireless buds with them. I think they just left it too late in the game, considering March 8th they're going to announce this new OnePlus 9. And with the Pro, the OnePlus 8 Pro just probably isn't worth getting. How you doing, Hamazan? How you doing, Christian? Well, I think every year that goes by, I care less and less about that. Yeah. For me, the last great OnePlus device was the OnePlus 7 Pro. And that was the first year they introduced the Pro line, and it was really, really good. The OnePlus 8, the regular one, was just... The OnePlus 8 Pro is really, really nice, but like I say, it was limited availability. And the 8T is actually a really good phone, but the problem with the 8T is when it first came out, the camera on it was really good. And, well, they actually balked it on purpose. They ruined the camera experience with an update because it was actually too good for the phone, and it made it too close, if not a little bit better than the OnePlus 8 Pro in some terms. So they ruined it. And I don't like companies that do that. They purposely gimped that device because it was cheaper and it was available on carriers and it was selling more than their flagship. Who cares? Just sell the phones. That's what you're there for. But no, they gimped it. So hopefully this year they don't do anything like that. Like I say, the Pro will be available supposedly on T-Mobile and Verizon. I don't know about AT&T. The Verizon one will be ultra wideband and the T-Mobile one will not. And I believe it only comes in one color on T-Mobile, and it's Mystic Gray or Misty Gray or something like that. So yeah, prices are probably going to be around the same from what I've been reading. It could be pretty exciting though, like the fact that they're releasing 3 phones. if you can get, is it a good bargain to get a cheap Samsung S7 in 2021? I presume you're talking about the tablet. And if you're talking about the tablet, it's funny you mention that if it's the tablet you're talking about. What's up, Chris? I today went and got myself a S7 Plus, and it cost me $294. I'll tell you how to do this. I don't know whether any of you guys follow me. I know Dom does, obviously. But for you guys that don't follow me on Twitter, I find bargains. I find deals. I also sell everything. Every electronic in my house isn't safe. Okay, everything sits here sweating because one day it's going to be packing its bags and out of here. It's just the way it is with me. I'm always selling electronics, give people good deals, blah blah blah. But anyway, the S7 Plus and the S7 this counts for as well if you want to spend less. But see, look at Dom. There you go. He knows. Hey, well, what can I say? You just never know. But S7 Plus cost me. Let me have a look. Let me grab my Ultra. If I can find it. Where the hell did I put my Ultra? There it is. All right, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. So today I got this deal here. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this. Let's see if it zooms, if it clears up. Come on. All right. So if you see that, $292.79. Galaxy Tab S7 Plus 512 version with the Galaxy Bud Live, and it comes up to $292 plus tax. Total savings $1,000. There's a way you can do this. Come on, camera. Hello. There you go. Right, so there's a way you can do this, and I'll share it with you right now. And it's worth doing. What chip will the OnePlus Watch have? I have no idea. I've not actually seen anything on the OnePlus Watch. It's just a rumor, isn't it, so far? I don't think there's been any solid, real leak other than that OnePlus Band that they released. But anyway, S7 Plus. How you get the S7 Plus really cheap. So if you have Samsung Pay and you're in the United States, this is how this works. Through Samsung Pay, there's a thing called Samsung Money, and it's through SoFi. Sophie, whatever you want to call it. But if you sign up for that and you put in $15, this is what I did, it then entitles you to Samsung's employee discounts. So you get the EPP rate plus everything else that's thrown in that Samsung do. So what happens today is I go and look for an S7 Plus through the SoFi store. You get around 30% off or up to 30%. So go through the SoFi store. It gives you your employee discount. So then trade in a Tab S4. So you're going to go and buy a Galaxy Tab S4 for around $200. They will then give you $400 for the Galaxy Tab S4. Plus you get a discount because it's on sale right now, a $150 discount. So basically, does this work for UK people? I don't know. Do you have Samsung Pay in the UK? I'm not sure. I don't know if you have Samsung Money. That's the key part. Or education. If you've got education, you can do it through the education store as well. So maybe you can replicate this in the UK. But by the time I'd finished doing that, I got Galaxy Buds Live, the S7 Plus 512 gig, and all it's cost me is $292 and a Galaxy Tab S4. So basically $492 it's going to work out of costing me. That's including tax for the top of the line 512 version with the 8 gig of RAM. So you can replicate that. It's not something that's a one-off from me. There's also another deal on there. If you don't have a Galaxy S21 Ultra, but you want one, let's say you've got an iPhone 12, okay, and I know iPhone 12s are expensive, but right now Samsung will give you $800 for your iPhone 12. So what you go and do, if you're on T-Mobile, right, you can go and buy 2 iPhones, and they're like buy one get one free, or near as damn it. This is what I did, and my second iPhone cost me $3 a month, and you can take that phone, even though you're going to keep paying it on finance. You can take that phone and trade it in to Samsung. You will then get the S21 Ultra. They'll give you $800 for that. Now, when you select to add to cart the 128 gig S21 Ultra, it'll ask you if you want any add-ons, which it shows you the headphones, TVs, things like that. And then if you scroll down, you'll see the Tab S7 and the Tab S7 Plus, and they're already severely discounted. Add one of those to your cart and then go to the next page, which is the checkout, and you'll see your discounts. Now what's going to happen is you're going to add the code denied financing. And then there's one for, I'll if you want to see them, I'll put them on my Twitter. There's one that gives you another $150 off and another one that gives you $50 off. And if you use somebody's referral code, they give you an extra 5% off. Basically, you can trade your iPhone in, or an iPhone 12. You can trade that in and you will get a Samsung S21 Ultra and a Galaxy Tab S7 Plus for $484. All right, you've got to trade in the iPhone, but that is a steal. It is a deal. You're just mental not to do that. And if you go through the EPP store, like I did, if you go through SoFi Money, then you're going to save even more again. So some mega deals to be had right now with Samsung, just huge. I'm actually considering making like a weekly video of deals to show you guys how you can get them. There's plenty of deals out there. It's just a lot of people don't know about them, and I'm one of those people that I sniff them out. I've always been very fortunate. I buy things really cheap and I get to sell things really cheap, and everyone seems to think I lose money on the items I sell. I don't. Okay, that's the biggest misnomer on Twitter there is. Everyone says just return it and get all your money back. Don't need to return it, because me selling it to you $150 less than anybody else, I'm still probably making money on it. So there's deals to be had, and I'm thinking of creating like a weekly series of how you can buy your tech, anything from like the little Google Home hubs, $29.99 a couple of weeks ago. I should have picked one up. I didn't, because I didn't really need it. But there's things like that you can do every week. I find deals every week, open box deals. I mean, right now you can get a 256 gig Samsung S21 Ultra from Best Buy. If you look around, they'll have the 256 gig version open box for about $870 in like new condition. It's an $1,149 phone. Right now, they're $200 off at Best Buy. So if you go for the open box, bang, there's your massive saving. You've just saved nearly $400, $300 or $400. So there's money to be saved out there. And I'm thinking that maybe I can bring it to my channel and help you guys out at the same time. So yeah, that was a bit of a rant on how to save money, all from somebody asking me if an S7 is worth buying in 2021. Yes, it is worth buying. You got to remember, the S8 that's rumored to be coming out, they won't be coming out till August, or they might get announced at the end of July, August, and come out just before the fall or in the fall. If you remember, the Tab S7, I think, got announced in August, but it didn't come out until about 8 weeks later. So you're pretty safe right now, especially if you get one on a deal, like I've just explained. You're not going to lose money on it. So it's a no-brainer to go and get one if that's what you want. If you want an Android tablet, I want an Android tablet. I got bored of iOS. I just want an Android tablet. Mine is basically just going to be a media machine. It's when I'm laying in bed, because I'm an old ass, and I can watch my Netflix on it, and I can watch it on the best screen available. I don't know if any of you guys have actually used an S7 Plus or seen one in person, but that QHD or QHD Plus OLED display at 120 hertz is killer. Absolutely killer. In fact, TechOdyssey, Adam, today has released a video, his long-term review of the Galaxy S7 Plus today, so it's worth going watching. Oh God,
yeah, that means a lot to me. Had I not been here to see the 5 seconds before I hopped on, you probably wouldn't have been so kind to recommend my video.
I'll get my coat. But yeah, go and watch his video, and he's done a 6 months long-term review video today on the Galaxy S7 Plus. It's a great tablet. There is some downfalls on it, like it is built like the Eiffel Tower, but other than that, it's superb. I can't believe you've been. Have I been waffling? God, I have spoke nonstop for 15 minutes.
I know. It's like you and me for 15 whole minutes.
I know, right? Wow. All I need to be now is a tax attorney. I'll be on it.
Well, have fun with that. It took me 16 years, and it's totally not worth it.
Well, I hope that helps some of you guys out, especially when it comes to saving money. Like I say, S21 and a Galaxy S7 Plus, $484, trade in an iPhone. Or if you want an S7 Plus and trade in a Tab S4, $290. No brainers. And you get free Galaxy Buds Live. Oh my, yeah, absolutely.
And the Galaxy Buds Live are the best earbuds that Samsung has ever made. I really like them a lot. I've been really impressed with them.
No.
Not the Live. I'm sorry, the Pro, the Buds Pro.
Yeah, they don't come with the Pro. Yeah, I was going to say these are. Let me just tell these people, because now I'm already talking, and now you won't be able to shut me up. But let me just tell you, if you've ever watched my channel, you'll see that I've reviewed a couple of the Galaxy Buds, the regular Galaxy Buds and the Buds Plus. And I thought they were dumpster fires for the money. I thought they were just trash. They weren't very loud. They had no bass. They just weren't very good. They played like $50 earbuds. So when these Galaxy Buds Pro came along, I was like, don't care. Not interested. Don't tell Soundcool this. But these are my favorite earbuds right now. These are the best earbuds you can buy.
I'm tell them. I'm emailing Lawrence.
Don't tell them.
I'm emailing Lawrence while we speak.
Don't do it. Leave me alone. Later's done.
Yeah, I actually really like the Buds Live. I don't like them probably for the reasons a lot of other people do, but I find them very comfortable, and that I have a lot of problems with a lot of different earbuds, and for whatever reason, the way those sit in my ear, those beans, they're actually
say this.
I can wear them comfortably for a long time, but the other reason I like them is because they sit flush inside your like inner ear area. Yeah, I can lay down with them. Yep. So, and a lot of times, like at nighttime, I'll listen to earbuds when my wife's trying to go to sleep, because she doesn't want to hear me watching videos or playing games or whatever. So I actually find that they work really well for that. So like evening time, they're perfect for me. I don't listen to earbuds a lot during the day because I'm working, I'm answering phone calls, and if I have music on, it's usually my speakers. So there's a limited type of, I guess, people that the Buds Live are good for, but I find they're very good for what they are for. But as far as like active noise cancellation, an amazing sound experience, they're just not there.
No, I agree.
The Buds Pro, I totally love. And I don't know what the deal was with mine. Maybe it was just the phone I was listening to them on. But if you listen to those suckers with the Samsung phone, and then you've got the Dolby Atmos on, good gosh, they're impressive earbuds. They sound so good.
The Pros? Sorry, I couldn't hear. My wife was stood there. But I am really impressed with the Pro. The noise cancelling on them works fantastic. The ambient works on them really good. They're just overall solid. I am so surprised. I've not tried them with any other device other than my Ultra, so I don't know whether you're going to get that same sound out of another device. But
no, if you listen to them like on an iPhone, like I don't know why it is. Anytime you listen to anything on iPhone versus compared to the Samsungs, they don't get as loud and they don't sound as good. Like they sound like 15% quieter.
Yeah, Buds Plus, digital slang, right? Buds Plus were, for me, MPOW $50 MPOW earbuds sounded better than Buds Plus.
Oh yeah, the Buds
no doubt about it.
The Buds and the Buds Plus are not good. I had those MPOW M30s, and I thought they sounded just as good, and they were $35, $40.
Yeah, I was not impressed at all with those.
Oh, we got Recovered in here tonight. We got Digital Slang. He must have heard us talking about earbuds for a minute.
Yeah, that's it. Let me turn these bulbs off that are flickering in the background. That is irritating.
So one of the things I want to talk about tonight, in the description, you probably saw it as well, is it looks like the spiritual successor to the V60 is on hold right now because of all the LG stuff. I think it's funny though, everybody's calling it the V. They're saying like the V70 when LG specifically said when they made the Velvet,
no V series
were gone. So apparently it was called Project Rainbow, which I don't know how they came up with that name. Of course, they always have code names and stuff. But it was going to be their flagship. It was going to have the active stylus support, Snapdragon 888, and of course, I'm sure if things don't end up like I'm worried this phone won't see the light of day, especially since they canceled the talks with the carriers, or at least suspended them for now. I could see maybe they could resurrect it, but I think there's also some talk right now for them maybe selling it off to somebody else, the handset division.
Yeah, although license it out, one or the other.
I would like to
So
see them sell it as opposed to license it.
yeah, I would as well. I think selling it is the only way forward with LG. If they're going to do it, just do it.
They should.
But then again, who I'm not. I like LG products, but who in the right mind, company wise, is going to go out and buy LG mobile?
The issue is not the hardware; it's the people behind the hardware. They can't they can't market their devices. They can't price them properly, and I don't know. They make some good stuff, like the V60. The
Was
V60.
awesome.
The problem with the V60 was it was about 4 months too early.
Yes,
The
it
V60
really was.
The V60 was the first flagship phone that came out from a company that had the 1080p screen. So even MKBHD, all these people were hating on it because it wasn't a flagship phone because it didn't have a high refresh rate and it didn't have 4K or Quad HD. And
Yep.
but it was everything else was immaculate. It was probably one of the most complete phones for 2020, and I really really love the V60. So I don't know. I think it suffered from the LGism, and then of course everybody hating on it as soon as it came off the truck. But it was such a good phone.
You see, the problem is though, and this is where I get who's going to want to buy LG Mobile. The damage has been done year after year after year, and I just I don't know. I don't know who would buy it. I mean,
Maybe Microsoft. I don't know. I don't know who would potentially want to buy it. But this right here, this is not a very accurate picture. The reason LG is still the fourth biggest seller in the US is because of their cheap phones at like Metro by
Stylos. Yeah,
the Stylo is a good selling device. So I think
it is
a better
budget phones. Yeah,
I think a better roadmap forward, and what I was kind of envisioning for this whole LG process is maybe they would do some soul searching, pare it down to like 2 or 3 devices, keep the Stylo, maybe keep 1K series, and then do the flagship and just make like 3 or 4 phones a year that are good and that are priced well because they were in the right place. They were just there too early. Like they sold the LG V60 relatively at the right price, the right strategy. Like everybody else kind of followed behind them. So they just took it on the nose because they're LG.
Yeah.
And and that's 2020 was the best year yet for these guys. The V60 was spot on. The Velvet, very good phone. The Wing, I think for most reasons, I mean, I think it's a good phone. I think it was overpriced, but I think it was a really good phone.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Wing part of it, though, this is going to sound stupid. If they'd have just made it a candy bar phone and called it the successor to the V70 and stuck an 865 in there, I think that would have been a really, really, really great handset because I loved the Wing as long as I didn't have it in a T shape. I didn't find any use after the gimmick had wore off.
As far as day-to-day use, I think it's still very limited on who that phone's for. Like if you look at the Z Flip, you look at the Fold, you look at the Razr, they have very wide applicability for a lot of people. But if you look at the Wing, there's only certain types of people that I think really find it ideal. Like people who really consume a lot of media but do other stuff at the same time. It's like a dream phone because you can sit there and watch what's going on, but still you can use Chrome, you can use Reddit, you can send messages, you can use Twitter. Like you can still do all that stuff on the bottom. So that's good. But where it really shines, and had they thrown a Snapdragon like 888 in this thing and sold it for $999, like that gimbal feature with the cameras is really, really good.
What is going on with my camera?
But yeah, you only get that gimbal feature when it's in like the T mode, so the wing mode with the screen rotated out. What are you doing over there?
I'll tell you why. I see my camera's pulsing and white balance is way off. That's a little bit better than it was. There you go. Sorry for ruining your flow.
It's okay. I'll find it again. But yeah, the camera, the recording, the gimbal feature that they put in there, I thought was like really good. I think it's really good. I mean, I'm working on my full review right now. I think that their heart was in the right place. It was still a little off, but that phone needed to be about $700. If it had full flagship hardware, they could have pulled off $999.
Yeah, $699. That was a decent deal. The problem was it became $699 far too late.
Like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. I in my last video I made, I said if you could get this thing for $500, you're gonna fall in love with it. Like there's a lot that I don't want to say overlook, but a lot that feels much more worth your money at the lower price point. Because at $999, I couldn't walk away from that and feel like I got a good deal.
Yeah, it's like now. I mean, the V60. If you go online, you can pick a V60 up for about $300,
and that's just ridiculous.
And the camera on it, especially, and they've just updated it to Android 11, which is a shocker. It's like, oh, LG have done a full update. Wow. And it's improved the camera again. I don't know whether you've been looking at Greg. I can't remember his handle, G808.
Oh, yeah, Grant.
Grant, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've seen his pictures he's been taking with the V60 since it got the update. Damn, there are some really good pictures. Really, really good pictures.
Yeah, I didn't like that they left the telephoto out. I'm glad they at least went, if they went with one camera, and if they went with two, at least they did the wide angle as opposed to the telephoto. You still there? All right, he's gone. I don't know what happened there. But either way, hopefully Dan will be back here in a minute. I'm glad that with the V60, they went ahead and they went with the wide angle and not the telephoto, but I wish that it also included the telephoto. So we'll have to see what happens. There he is.
Man hit the wrong button.
So, yeah, I hope they can find a way out of this. I think that the world needs LG phones, but LG just needs to be smarter about it and find a way to not lose as much money, because they're basically losing $1 billion a year. And the thing
that's insane amount of money as well.
LG is like the second largest, I think, consumer electronics company in the world or something like that. Second or third, they're way up there. So they make a lot of money on other stuff, like their home appliance stuff, their air conditioners. A lot of their stuff's very, very successful, and they make a lot of money off of it. It's just the handset division. They can't turn a dollar. I don't, and I know why. There's a lot of reasons why, but
and the thing is with the Velvet was the first phone they have actually got behind this year, because who did they use? Was it Chris Rock? They used they went heavy on TV advertisements for the Velvet.
Yeah, it was somebody. I can't remember. Oh, Jason Derulo.
Was it Jason Derulo? No.
Yeah, Jason Derulo. Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
There's someone else then.
I think
they had really Jason Derulo.
They did have Jason Derulo, yeah. Yeah, I think that, I'm concerned about the rollable, because that apparently has been put on hold too. But initially, when they put out when this announcement leaked, because they didn't put it out that they were fielding possibly selling it or closing up shop, they said they were still committed to putting the rollable out. And now it seems like the rollable is on hold as well. So I don't know. What are you doing there? Yeah, Marlon Wayans. Yeah. Him and Jason Derulo.
Jason.
Yeah. Either way. Yeah, I felt like they were going in a good direction with that. And then the wing, there was just, I don't know, the hype train was too far behind the actual product. Like, the problem they had this year was getting these devices in the States. I don't know what the problem was, but it's like, hey, we announced this, and then like 3 months later, the phone showed up. So if they could get all their stuff firing on the same cylinders, and they could pare things down, not make so many different phones, not chase so many gimmicks, and concentrate on a couple of different price points, I think they could be successful. It's just, it was harder when there wasn't OnePlus and there wasn't Pixel. It was like an obvious second choice. It was like, if you went into the store, if you didn't want an iPhone, you got a Samsung. And if you didn't want to spend the money on a Samsung, you got an LG, and LG gave you pretty good value. They had all the 2-for-1 BOGOs and all the free TV, and LG kind of filled this spot in like American, U.S. consumer electronics. And then with Pixel and OnePlus, it just, I guess, couldn't compete well anymore.
No, it's a shame. LG just fell off the wagon. So it was just, I just don't see, even like I say, I don't see anybody wanting to buy them. And two, if I do see somebody buying them, unless, like you say, hello?
Yeah.
How about you just shush? Thank you. Sorry about that. That was my wife rustling stuff around. What was I saying? Yeah, like you say, now, unless they do what Google have done with the Pixel and decide to stay at $350, $400 kind of thing.
Yeah, I think definitely they should keep the K series, like keep the K series, keep the stylo, and just keep their one flagship phone. 3 phones would be, I think, perfectly fine. Release them like throughout the year, come out with an annual upgrade. I think LG is still the best in LG's hands, but they got to do it smart because if they sell it to someone else, if LG can't make money with LG phones, who else is going to do it?
And nothing have just bought Essential. I don't know whether you've seen that, but
Yeah, I
so
saw that.
they're
That's
out of the game.
cool.
I could have seen them possibly buying it, but not anymore now that they've bought Essential. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't, like
really
I
excited
said,
about Essential because I love the first Essential phone.
hmm,
Andy Rubin was the problem with that company. Uh,
just a little bit.
yeah, a little bit. Well, the problem
Hmm,
that is a fine example of one person dragging down an entire company because the
yeah.
Essential folks were great. The phone was good. They put out updates like there was no tomorrow.
The
So,
camera was dumpster fire, and they were over expensive though. That was the problem, and they were overhyped.
oh yeah, well they were definitely overhyped. The funny thing is one of the big selling points before all the bad publicity came out was Andy Rubin, and then it turned
Yeah,
out to really hurt them bad.
the
And
father of Android, and then
hmm,
yeah,
but yeah, the camera was a huge disappointment on it, and plus it was like 3 months late. They kept
yeah,
pushing it back because originally it
yeah.
was supposed to come out in like April, then it was like June, then it was like July,
And
and
then they had the color sections that everybody was waiting for, that green and gold that was coming out, and it didn't come until like 9 months after it released. It was something stupid like that, or maybe even a year after. It
then
was so stupid.
the exclusive gray one with Amazon, which I actually really love
Yeah,
that color.
it was real nice.
The way they screwed themselves over was that ceramic build. Like the ceramic build was super premium, but it's limited. It's hard to get this stuff to make them. So
Yeah,
I like where they went with that. I always wanted one. A year later, that was an amazing phone at a great price for like 2 years
yeah.
till they closed up their doors. But yeah, the first 6 months that phone was a dumpster fire. Like the camera was horrendous.
And it's funny, because I say this all the time about phones, but you could stick Gcam on that phone, and the camera instantly transformed from. I'm not saying it was a great camera, but it instantly transformed from a crapper to something somewhat decent, good. It's Yeah, it was a shame about Essential, but like I said, I just don't know who will buy LG because there's
I
nobody
don't.
out there. It's not like OnePlus need to buy them because they get everything through Oppo.
Yeah,
I,
I don't see it. The only
yeah,
way I could see it is if somebody wanted to buy it so they could get a foot in the door in the American market just to sell them.
yeah. I mean, I, I just who's maybe Sony? I don't know.
Sony can't. Sony's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's the kind of thing that they would do. They would just buy something like that stupid, thinking they were making a master stroke when in fact they're probably better off master. But anyway,
Well, on another note, this is something that I know you're really excited about. I think the OnePlus announcement is pretty much imminent. I think we're right.
had that conversation.
Okay, I missed out on that, but it looks like March 23rd. Looks like
For
they'll
the
be available
release.
for pre-order, is what they're
Yeah.
saying as far as the latest leaks. But it looks like there's gonna be a OnePlus 9, a 9 Pro, and then they're talking about a budget version of the
R.
9R
The 9R. Mm-hmm.
pirate phone.
Snapdragon 690.
Yeah. I don't know. The 690 is fine. The thing with the 690 that tells you right off the bat that it's 5G, which is the same thing as their Nord, which is fine. But I don't really see the point in making another one because you've got the Nord. So why would you turn around and make the R, which is basically the same stinking phone?
Yes.
I don't
concur.
I don't get that. But I am looking forward to the 9 and the 9 Pro. Like I wasn't really looking forward to the 8, especially once the prices leaked, and I was like, that was a huge turnoff.
And no carrier availability for the Pro. That was a kick in the nuts. And I think this is what I was saying at the beginning of the show. I think they've realized that hurt them. So
that
that's
Pro
why
needed to
the
be
Pro
there.
is now available back on T-Mobile and Verizon. So
It's got to be, yeah. And I was really thinking that this year was going to be the push. Like this last year, I thought the 8 was going to be the big push, and the 8 was like because the 7 set them up so well. Like the 7 Pro was so well received. Like they just did everything right. And then when it comes to the 8, there was a lot of hype behind it. Like I was really thinking they were going to kind of take that next step, and then they just stepped in dog poop.
fumbled majorly.
Yeah,
And I was saying, it was like the 8T. When the 8T first came out, I had a really good camera. And then they realized that it was too good and it was too close to the 8 Pro, so they dumbed it down.
they did, but
Who
I
does
still love
that?
8T is such a good phone, though. I mean, that was my phone of the year for last year.
Yeah. I love the 8T.
Such a good phone.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this. I should get one of them. I don't have confirmation on that yet. I guess they're still too early in that, but since I've developed a relationship with these guys, and everybody knows that they're coming. I mean, I haven't talked to them about anything yet, other than just saying I wanted one whenever the time comes. So I should get my hands on one of them, which will be nice because I'm really looking forward to covering that. But they look good. Like the leaks that I've seen look really impressive.
I agree. I am looking. Last year, as we all know, I felt OnePlus were like when the Nexus went away. OnePlus took place of the Nexus for me. They were a phone that they were like Dan's phone, if you know what I mean. Everything I wanted in a phone, OnePlus gave me. And then last year, no wonder Carl Pei was no longer with him, because I'm presuming he was like, this is not what we were, or this is not what we are.
Maybe, but I wonder how much of that was him and they decided he needed to go because he kind of ruined things for them.
Well,
we'll see.
I thought that at first. I thought maybe he got a bit too arrogant. But looking at the strategy and reading into it, because OnePlus has been, instead of being its kind of own company that's a part of the Oppo brand, it's been brought in-house again now. I don't know whether you know that. Oppo have took it back.
Good.
So I don't know. I've got a feeling that he was just like, because that was his baby. That was his. And I just got a feeling that they weren't going, they were leaving. Like I said, they left their base behind. Everyone who made them what they are, they left them behind. They abandoned them. And I've got a feeling Pei was like, you know what? That's BS. I'm out.
Well, I thought so the first OnePlus phone I actually got was the 6T, because I had security concerns about them, especially since the OnePlus 3 and then the 5, they had like those backdoor issues where you could, get into them. That really concerned me. So the 6T was the first one that I was like, all right, I'll try this out. And that was my first experience with Oxygen OS. And I fell in love with it. I love Oxygen OS. It's great.
It's great. Yep.
And then the 7 Pro was so good. So I expected a lot of really good things for the 8 when it came out. And then, of course, the 8 was probably one of my most favorite designs last year because it's just so thin. Like, it has such a wonderful form factor on it. The haptic feedback was like next level. It's super zippy. It was like they took the 7 Pro and they sent it to Fat Camp, and it came back. It came back like a sliver of
Chunky monkey.
It was because the 7 Pro was so fat.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it was.
I don't know. But I hear you can still get the almond editions for like $600. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then it looks like tomorrow is going to be an event for Redmi.
Yeah. Is that their new Note device?
Yeah, the new Note device. I think the K40 and the K40 Pro is what's coming out. Or is that one already? They already talked about that one.
No. I don't know. Sorry.
Did you see the K40 with? It looks like it. I guess it had like those buttons on it.
Yeah, and it's. Have you seen that it's using the same camera as what's in the S21 Ultra?
Yeah, and on top of that, I believe it's got the Snapdragon 870 in it, right?
Yeah, which is a faster version of the 865 Plus.
But it drops the 5G, doesn't it? Isn't it just LTE?
Oh, I don't know about that. I didn't look that far into it. I wouldn't care. I do not care about 5G whatsoever.
No, it's 5G.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 5G, but yeah, so it's still got the X55. It's got 5G, Wi-Fi 6 capabilities. And I was really. It's funny to me that they jumped to the 888, and then they've got the 870 as well. But the 870 is supposed to be a pretty stinking good chipset.
Yeah, faster than the 865 Plus.
I think
that is really weird too. Yeah, it's just weird that they would bring something out, because why would they make something quicker than last year's Is the 888 that much faster? I don't know. I mean, is there going to be that much of a disparity between the two? I don't get it.
I'm curious when it comes to that, though, because I think you and I were talking earlier, and I think maybe you're starting to see some of what I was complaining about with the battery life on the S21 Ultra. Maybe the 870 doesn't run as hot, and maybe it's more power efficient.
Yeah, and maybe that's the new 765, if you know what I mean, in that
Because
sense.
the 765 was so good, and then the 765 Plus, it's like it just. I mean, it was still 865. Are we talking
I'm talking the 765G they brought out, which was still really fast, but had great battery life in every device it has. Whereas if you went with the top of the line 865 Plus or 865 with 5G.
Yeah, and that was the thing, though, because the 865 as well was also really good last year. I thought it was much more power efficient. Like the battery life I was seeing on the S20 Ultra was way better than what I was getting with the Note 20 Ultra.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The 865 was definitely better than the 65 Plus. But I don't know if this is a Samsung problem with the 888 or like the 865 Plus. I don't know if it's a Samsung issue or it is actually a chip issue.
I don't necessarily think it's a chip issue. I think it's actually a One UI issue.
Because it's got to be. Because it's getting worse and worse each week. I started off, when I first got this S21, I was getting, I used to put a post on Twitter, between 9 and 10 hours screen on time. All right, I use mine on 1080p because I can't tell the difference, so there's no point. Today, I'm going to get 6 hours. I don't use my phone any different any day of the week. It's the same usage, and I've lost 3 hours of screen on time. And it's getting worse.
Well, in the beginning, whenever you and I were talking when we first got them, I was like, man, they fixed it. I'm getting 8 to 9 hours of screen on time. And for me, that's like a miracle.
Yeah.
That's like an absolute miracle for me to squeeze that much out of a flagship phone. So for me to be able to get 4.5 on a good day, maybe 5 hours, I'm lost 3 to 4 hours of screen on time, and nothing has changed.
Yeah, it's weird.
So
it seems like Samsung have gone from having NANDs that used to just die with age, that the NAND would always slow up to a point where you couldn't use the phone, and now it's no longer the NAND, it must be the software doing it to the SoC.
I think it is
weird.
I think it has something to do with the way that they manage the active programs, but they're not showing up as a ton of background usage. So I haven't been able to pinpoint what the problem is, but it seems like as the adaptive battery learns more, it's ruining your battery more.
That's right. And that there, well, the 888, doesn't the Mi 11 have the 888 in it?
It does, and that's what I was going to talk about, because I did a test with it, and I was able to get over 6 hours screen on time with mine and still had like 12% battery left, but it's 4,600 milliamps instead of 5,000. So 800 milliamps less, it's 4,600. So 400 milliamps less, and I was getting about an hour more of screen on time, if not more, than my S21 Ultra. And good old Juan stopped by for a second. Yeah, that's the thing. So we'll see. I want to see what the new Asus Republic of Gaming ROG 5 phone is going to do with it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That there is spot on, because they do. I don't know whether you've used, someone just retethered, you use the camera. Just using the camera, and that sucker gets hot.
Yeah, weird. There is some heat dissipation issues. Like there's heat management issues with the phone. When you're using it like normal stuff, you don't really feel it. But if you crank up to the camera, you play some intensive gaming, you can feel it warm up, especially without a case.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It just, for me, it's Samsung have gone back to this last 2 Samsung releases. They've gone back to typical Samsung, where the longer you're on the phone, the worse it gets.
I know. Like the 4 years of software support's not going to matter because the phone won't last that long.
No, I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. It's just weird. The Note 20 Ultra was a dumpster fire in the battery department. The S21 Ultra, like I say, was great when I first got it. What are we, a month out? Something like that?
And see, here's the thing, though. Like, depending on what you use the phone for, if you're just doing media consumption, I did a time-lapse video because I was doing some testing. I watched an hour and a half long video on Netflix on Quad HD Plus on Wi-Fi, 10% battery. That's it.
Yeah.
So, but if you play games, if you pull up the camera, if you use your browser, it really doesn't like that. So there are some serious issues with it. I'm hoping they can work out on the software side, but at the end of the day, it may just be like, the Intel chip that was in the MacBook Pro 2018 or 2019 that was having issues with it getting too hot.
i9. Yeah, the i9 throttling.
So there we go. Yeah, it was a good thing I had that.
That big battery kept you warm though.
Well, and that was when I was like, I was irritated with it because I knew the battery wasn't lasting a long time. And then when I really needed it, and I had to charge the sucker 2 or 3 times in a day because I was on it continuously. I was like, this is a serious problem. Like today, I messaged you and I went to go take my family to go see a movie for my son's birthday. I took it off the charger at like 8 or 9 o'clock this morning, and by 4 o'clock, I was at 18% battery, and I had to take a battery bank with me to the movie theater. Like, that's beyond unacceptable.
I agree. I don't know how long my S21 Ultra is going to last. I was already dropping hints today that it wasn't safe, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. The problem with this phone that's so frustrating to me is I really love the phone. Like everything about the phone, I really enjoy. I have not favored an S line of the phone since the S6. Like the S6 was the last time I actually cared about the S line series more than the Note, and I've been exclusively carrying the Note. I'll check these out, but I favor the Note. And this is the first time in a long time that I really prefer this one, and it's a shame that it's still suffering from the same battery issues. So,
talking about the S21, did you see DxO Mark? Now we all know that they're just a sham of a company nowadays.
Oh yeah,
they said the S20 Ultra camera is better than the S21 Ultra.
How do you still keep a shingle open? Like, how do you still hang a shingle with that company if you say that the S20 camera that had all those issues is better than the S21?
I'm just saying. Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. This has been kind of irky for me, especially with them releasing the phones earlier and earlier. You look at what they're doing. The last 2 or 3 phones they've had, as soon as they come out, have had some major issues. So it's like, I need
stop rushing.
Yeah, stop rushing. Spend a little bit more time on quality control, and quit trying to beat everybody out the gate by a month or 2 because your products on their own won't draw in the sales. And of course, if you notice too, and this may be the fastest that they've done it, they dropped the price from $11.99 to $9.99, I think, before even the 14-day return window was open this closest time. So
right now it's back to $9.99 again. Right now at Best Buy, $9.99 and Amazon.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, the phone should have, if they could sell a phone for $9.99 from the get-go, I guarantee they would sell more phones than they would by starting off at $11.99.
Absolutely. I agree. I don't know why they do it. But then they entice you in with the $200 credit, or $260 as it was, if you pre-ordered early. So,
and that's cool. I mean, I got my Buds Pro. I got the stupid controller that I don't use. I got the case, which is fine. I mean, I haven't even really looked at other cases. I do like that it has the slot for the S Pen.
I hate that case.
Largely, I've gotten used to it. Like, it kind of threw me off at first, but I do like it well enough. It is a cheap piece of junk. I mean, I will say that.
The buttons on the side are terrible. They don't even hit the buttons properly.
Oh, maybe yours is just not good, because mine, I have no issues with that. Like,
this is my favorite one from them. It's their rugged. What I don't understand, right? Hold on, let me see if we can get this to focus it. So what I don't understand about this case, my camera is going to get punched in the mouth today. So what I don't understand about this case, whenever they've released these cases, they've never been glossy. So now they release a matte black phone, but they now make the case. Yeah. What do you do? Why?
The thing that I don't like about this, one, it's not mil standard drop rated. Like, there's no real drop protection on this, other than just the tertiary protection you get because it's not impacting the body.
Yeah.
But it's cheap. Like, it is some cheap rubber, whatever they use to make this. and it collects oils and fingerprints and dust like it's a magnet, like it's going out of style. It's a
I
disgusting.
sold mine. It's like I told you yesterday. I put it on eBay. So I had it on there for $80, and somebody offered me 72 plus shipping. See ya.
I should do that. I do need to look around. Some people were telling me that I think Spigen has an okay case that will hold the S Pen.
Right.
Likely, I'll look to get rid of this one maybe eventually. The problem is I've kind of established my status quo with this right now to where I don't actively want to look for another one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying another one from Best Buy, freaking hooligans. I bought that case. I told you about it. So I got my daughter an iPhone 12. We had an iPhone 10 that's like 3 years old. Like my one son had it, and then it got passed on to my other son, and then she ended up getting it. So I ordered this Insignia case and had my wife pick it up curbside Best Buy yesterday. Get home, and then the box was empty. It didn't have a plastic. You couldn't look at it, but it wasn't protected. It's in the store, opened the bottom and took the case, put it back, and the wiring is still in Insignia case. I don't know anyway. But either way, that's neither here nor there. I got to take the box back and be like, there was no phone in this. I know no phone case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's bizarre. And they're going to look at you like you're an absolute idiot.
They will.
Mm-hmm.
They will. Whatever. That's their problem, not mine.
Yeah.
I have seriously considered selling this though, or getting rid of it, because I have the Mi 11, and the Mi 11. The only reason I like this phone better is because the haptic feedback is amazing, and the typing experience is better. It's more accurate and more enjoyable than typing on my Mi 11. And even using the Mi 11 for a couple of days, like it's pretty good. But I do like this one better. But I've got the Mi 11. I could sell this one, but I'd probably at this point in time probably get like $850 for the sucker.
See, I'm in a quandary because I don't know what to do. Either way, I am going to have a OnePlus 9 Pro. I will say right now, it's going to happen. It's going to come. I just don't know whether I keep the S21 or I keep the Pixel.
I would say keep the S21, dude. I think you're going to be happier with the S21 than you are with the Pixel. But then here's the other issue. Here's the issue, period. When you get these phones, like, we largely favor one over the other. I really got to where I was comfortable with my Fold 2, and then it's like I got the S21 Ultra. Now I don't want to use my Fold. Like I don't want to keep switching phones all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. The Pixel is the camera, but if the camera is as good on the 9 Pro or improved over the 8 Pro, then I won't need a Pixel. So, and the camera is really good on the S21. The only problem with it is just like every other Samsung phone, it has shutter lag. So any movement in portrait mode or anything like that, done. Yeah.
If you don't use a lot of other phones and you're just used to Samsung all the time, then you don't notice it so much.
See it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you go to a Pixel, if you go to a Xiaomi phone, if you go to a lot of other phones, the shutter is it's quick.
That's the 4A 5G, which right now, because you're on T-Mobile too, it's $350 at T-Mobile right now. This phone, best value phone ever.
I wonder. I don't know, because we're supposed to. I believe the Pixel 5A is just around the corner. Like my feeling is we'll probably see it in April,
which is exactly the same as this. Yeah,
basically. So I think that's why they're selling it, because I think they're gonna, move on to that, and then we'll see what happens. I wonder if they're gonna return to form with the 6. I really feel like they kind of have to.
I think so as well. I think this was a bit of a clearing out and a reset, while they just spent a bit longer on a flagship instead of trying to just churn something out. I got a feeling, remember last year, and I've said this before, and I don't know if I said it to you, but last year they were showing renders of a Pixel 5, and it had that little
patch. It looked almost like a shield.
Yes, I got a feeling that was the Pixel 6.
I think so.
Meant to get out.
3-point design with it looked almost.
It came down, but then it arced at the bottom. It was like let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I really like the way that it looks. I thought it looked like it kind of stood out. And so help me though, Google better stinking put all 3 cameras in the phone.
I don't think that'll happen. I think they'll just go with like they have now.
Just from a competition perspective, yeah, I really like the way that looked.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was the Pixel 6 that got leaked. People thinking it was the Pixel 5. So,
well, I know people probably don't want to hear this, but digital zoom nowadays is about 90% as good as optical zoom.
Optical zoom.
Like back in the day, like you needed optical zoom, but now they're so good, especially with all the pixel binning and all the things that they do now. The pictures look pretty good all the way up to about 5 times zoom. Like up to about 3, I can't even really tell a difference. So, like, if you want to take pictures of the moon, though, you have to have that optical. It's just plain and simple.
You know what, Dom? That's a good point. But it's not just videos. They need to up their entire photography. They need to move on from the Pixel 2 camera and get with it, because they've let everybody catch up. Google is stupid in that sense. They've let everybody catch up. I'm not saying that anyone's better at taking stills, but they're that close now with everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
It's stupid. When you think 2 years ago, they were leagues ahead of everybody else. Everybody, no one could touch them. And now everyone's, I don't know why they did it and left it that way. Well, I do know why they did it, making more money because they're using it.
Because they keep reusing it. So, I mean, they thought they were being clever. I don't really know what their strategy was behind that other than just saving money, which is why I feel like they did the same thing with the Wing instead of waiting for the new hardware, just to save money and to reuse a lot of the stuff. But if you look at it, the Pixel and the Pixel 2 were like, they came out of nowhere and they were light years ahead of the competition. And you wouldn't even consider, like, in the year that they came out, there was unequivocally no competition. And if there was, maybe in one area, but not in other areas, but in low light photography, in portrait mode, I mean, it's so much more accurate. And then you've got it with like the Samsung and the iPhones now, they're like neck and neck, but they offer more. Like the rest of the phone offers more. Like before, you could kind of overlook some of the shortcomings of the Pixel because the camera was just so exceptional. But now it's like, it's just okay.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's still good, but it's not.
Like the phone as a whole is just okay. Like, the camera is so good, but it's not enough that it can take it to that next level.
No, it doesn't carry it anymore. It just doesn't. Farm Tech, foldable Pixel. Yeah, why not? I'd have a go of a foldable Pixel. Just let me say this, though. This has really irritated me this week. There's a certain leaker, as he now is, that put on the Pixel Fold is real. Google themselves in May of 2018 said that they had a prototype foldable Pixel. It was already made back then, and they've been refining it since. 9 to 5 Google last year in August, I believe, had a full leak on the thing that showed schematics and everything. Then all of a sudden, this one person says a Pixel's real, and all his ass lickers, excuse me, but all his little god worshippers are like, oh, he said it, so it's real. Stop with that.
It's ordained. It's
Been
confirmed.
done. Don't pretend that it wasn't already leaked. It was already done. People need to.
I'm not enamored with that individual anyway. I appreciate the level of accuracy that he brings to the table whenever it comes to some of the different iPhone related stuff. But then all of a sudden it's like, we've known for a long time that this Pixel foldable is in the works, and then all of a sudden he just says something about it, and then everyone's like, "Oh, it's
real. It's confirmed."
Well,
it was confirmed 2 years ago that they were working on one. Shut up! Is his name Gabriel Ramirez? What's his name? I'm gonna have to look. But one of their head design guys come out and said yes, but it's just too early to bring this to the market right now, which it was.
Yeah. Well. That irks me because it's like saying something we already knew, and then somebody coming out just out of nowhere when that's not something they normally talk about. At least not in the last year. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, it's happening now, and then I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. Okay, whatever. I rolled very, very hard. I had to go see my optometrist today. I rolled my eyes so hard. I'm okay now, but
it just.
Well, I mean,
you can tell things like that annoy me. People try and take credit for something that was Well, let's give credit to 9 to 5 Google. They're the people that, like I say, they had no renders, but like schematics of what the phone is going to look like,
They got a good
and the sizes and everything else, And then this
they
guy
did.
just says, "Oh, it's real," and everyone's lapping it up. Stop. This did escalate quickly because me and that person. I'll put it this way: I could show somebody these hands. All right, it's just the way it is. Anyway.
Okay. Well, now that Dan's blood pressure is elevated over phone.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is, Scott Peachy's had it for like 12 months already.
Oh yeah, he had it when the Nexus 5 came out because obviously, they were
Scott's
that far in the front.
Scott's got the Pixel Fold 2 already, I think.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I bet you he's got the 5A as well.
Yeah, probably. Probably has.
I'm not going to put him on the spot. I think that covers most things. Plus, we're at an hour anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things are turning downward whenever the most stuff that's in the chat right now is from Farm and Hobo.
I think ginger man with a grey beard or a ginger beard and grey hair. I can't really remember.
I think he finally got a Fold 2 is what he was telling me too. So I got to sell mine now. It's not really a class symbol anymore.
No, because somebody who had the homeless version of the Note 20 now has the same phone as you. So I'd be out of that. You need to get out of that. Just get it gone
now before it's worth $500.
Yeah. You just get that gone. I can't remember this guy's name who worked for Google. I was trying to find it, but I'll just shut up about it now.
I'm really looking forward to the next Z Flip, and so help me, Samsung better do something with the workable screen on the front, because if they
will,
they will. I know they will, but I wonder how much, because the leaks and the renders that I was seeing, which of course were not confirmed, and they weren't confirmed by the other guy, so it wouldn't matter anyway till he confirms it. But there's nothing out there. Like the original photos I was seeing looked like just a slightly larger screen with like a clock and some crap. Like it needs to be fully functional. Like I feel like the Razr, like when the Z Flip first came out, it was built so much better than the Razr that I didn't want to get a Razr. But now that the second one has come out and made a lot of improvements and has that fully functional front screen on the outside, I feel like if Samsung doesn't at least match that, I may move over to the Motorola, just because I feel like really that's kind of essential right now.
I really enjoyed that Motorola Razr. Really, really did that. I'm looking forward to the Razr 3. I would have another one of those phones. The only problem with that phone was, and they need, when you're flipping it up, now obviously the earpiece broke in mine, but you can't, there's no like place to put your finger or your thumbnail or something in there to flip the thing up. You literally have to use two hands.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's really going to depend on what comes out. But you know how much I love the Z Flip.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah, the phone I was really looking forward to that I couldn't wait to get, and then was ridiculed.
Yeah, the one I wrote for
just like absolutely ridiculed for it by someone, to the point that I decided not to get it. And then the same person goes out and buys not only one but two.
No, the first one I traded a phone.
No, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. You had the Z Flip and then the Z Flip 5G. I don't care how you got them. You hadn't got them.
I traded a phone that was worth like half of what it was worth for it because somebody wanted it.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, and Kyle's here. Thank you a ton for the super chat, Kyle. I told you before. I appreciate the $20 super chat.
Thank you.
I really, really, truly do. But you can just ask a question.
Do you think that companies should release one flagship a year like Apple? I like the one flagship a year, to be honest.
It depends. For certain companies like LG, I think LG should release one flagship a year. I think that maybe OnePlus should release one flagship a year. But if you've got like Samsung, where you've got a Fold, you've got a Z Flip, you've got an S line, you've got a Note line, like those are all kind of their own individual. Yeah, those are different. So, I don't see the point in releasing like OnePlus. Don't make the 8 and then make the 8T. I don't see the point in that. Like just release your 8 and 8 Pro, call it a day, and come up with something more inventive. So for companies like them or with LG, I really feel like, or with Pixel, it would be a waste. But if you're going to bring something else to the table, then by all means go for it, because I like the options. because sometimes you might like one phone more than you like the other. So I'm looking like Samsung really messed up making the Z Flip, and then 6 months later coming out with the Z Flip 5G, which is basically the same stinking phone, except they added 5G. That's not, to me, substantial. That's not really much of an
and an 865.
Yeah, but not necessary.
No, it wasn't necessary.
Not at all. So they should have just waited and then made a completely better phone. But they were trying to get on that 5G bandwagon. But still, the phone suffers because it only has 3,300 milliamp battery, and they didn't increase the battery size. So I don't know. Samsung does a lot of stupid things. Great question though. I do think, it just depends on what you're bringing to the table. If it's nothing new and it's nothing substantially different, then don't waste your time. Save it and bring it out next year and make it better.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah. So Farm and Tech. Yeah. So that BlackBerry that I got, it's the same as the very first one that I had. I got that in 2005, back when it was with Singular. So this new one I bought it's the exact same one I had before. Totally loved that phone. It was such a good phone. Fell in love with the brand. The keyboard was like next level compared to the T9 typing. So it's one of those things where I wanted to get another one so I could, take a look at it now and have a trip down memory lane. It wasn't really all that expensive, but it was cool. And it had the little roller wheel on the side, the one that used to give people, BlackBerry thumb that they used to call, because you get tendonitis in your thumb from scrolling little wheel all the time. And that was like the first major medical related issue. They have like phone neck now, and phone where you get the indentions in your finger from holding the big phones all the time. So it's just curious from different perspectives to look at those things. But
is that Jeremy Jerkins?
I don't know.
You want some of this? You want some of this smooth Englishness?
You probably use cocoa butter, don't you?
What?
So you probably rub some cocoa butter on those before you go to sleep at night?
Right here, buddy.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm going to guess call it a night. We're after the hour. And
wait. I've got to show you something on my phone, because I'm always looking at buying things. No, but this is funny, right? Someone is trying to sell this mattress, okay? So it's for sale on Beaver Creek Bargains, and
who buys? Someone's selling a mattress?
Hold on, wait till you see this. I don't know whether you can. Wow. Can you see the stains on that?
Oh, GameSky's in here too. Hey, wow, that's bad. That looks like Farm and Tech's bed.
I bet it's actually him selling it, little tramp.
He's probably selling it in Ohio, so nobody thinks it's him.
Yeah, that's it.
Who would sell that, and who would
buy it with like diarrhea stains all over it?
It looks like somebody took a family-sized bucket of KFC and just rolled around in the bed with it.
The listing is no longer available. I wonder why.
That's so bad.
God.
Oh, that's terrible. Are we playing Call of Duty tonight?
Yeah, but I'm not playing Warzone.
Screw Warzone.
I'm playing multiplayer Modern Warfare.
I'm going to play for a little bit. I've got a video I got to make tonight, so I probably won't play for too long, but I'll fire up the paddles.
Okay.
If I have to.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful evening, and thanks for stopping by. As always, it's always a great time, and y'all stay safe, and I'll have my show on Sunday night.
No one cares about your show.
All right. Well, never mind. Well, since y'all not there, then we'll be there on Sunday night, 10:30.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, we'll see y'all guys later.
See you. Try.
Bye.
Go away.
Peace out.
Shoo.
Bye.
Off. Be gone.